Oh, this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. Good evening. Good night. I guess you can say even that. Oh, man. That was a rough one, boys. That one, look, here. I know as Florida fans, we expect to win those. And it hurts. It hurts the way that it went down. But, look, as a Florida fan, man, it's easy to sit here and say, hey, we sucked. It's blah, blah, blah. But it is what it is. It was a fun game. It was a great game. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. For the fact that we had an opportunity there at the end was pretty exciting. AR threw for 453 yards. I think as a Florida fan, we should be excited from what we saw on offense. I think what we should be excited about is the progression that we had. And look, we got to take it one step at a time, 1 week at a time. I think, look, I know I keep talking about this and I keep saying like, hey, it is what it is. But for us to come down to the wire and almost, as Cody says here, we about ripped their hearts out. I think that's a W. It really was. Napier plays for moral victories. I think you have to look. Yes, AR found himself. There's small W's here. I think you have to appreciate the fact of what happened and be excited for what's to come. It's a young football team. Tennessee's a good football team. Congratulations to them. Much respect to them. They've got a tough road ahead of them. They've got Bama, Georgia, a few more coming up. Why do we go for two? There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of question marks there. I think if we had kicked 2 field goals, again, there's a lot there. There's a lot to unpack. I don't know. But what I'm pumped about is AR looked good. The play calling changed. Okay, the offensive play calling changed. I watched, again, if you go back and watch the breakdown from USF, the biggest takeaway was we would do a bunch formation, pistol, AR would turn, he would lose his ability to read the play. We spread the ball out. It gave AR the ability to read, and we saw what he could do. 453 yards passing, fantastic. Tennessee's defense, could that be a possibility of why that is? Sure. It doesn't really matter, right? That's not the point here. The point is that AR looked comfortable. He looked like he found himself. He was able to move the ball. There was a few questionable play calls at the end, and that throughout the entire game, whether it was from Billy or AR having the ability to play, I don't know what it was. Doesn't really matter. It was a growing game. It was a great game. Going into a ruckus Tennessee crowd, that was huge. I think you have to be proud of that. The defense looked horrendous. I will say that. Billy made some. I loved all of his going for it on 4th downs. They were nerve-wracking the entire time. But it was great to see that he was able to pull that off. So again, congrats to Tennessee. Nothing but respect for them to get it done. I mean, I think we have to hold our hats high. It's fun to talk smack and get involved with it, but the L happened. We took the L, and it is what it is. We're here now. It's been a rough first 4 games. It's been the gauntlet, like I said it would. But looking between the lines, let's see what happened here. Let's break it down. It's a good loss, as weird as that sounds. AR found himself. He looked comfortable. He made great passes. The run game looked a little off, but I think you have to expect that. The O-line looked healthy as per usual. The defense had some issues. Totally agree. I hope you guys now see what I say about Brenton Cox. Brenton Cox is not what we are all, have him hyped up to be. The guy looks like the part because he's explosive. He's exciting. He has the pad coming out of the back of his helmet. I love me some Brenton Cox. I love his energy. But his explosiveness, it's going to hurt him. There's so many times where he just blows through the line and it opens up a hole. If you're the O-line, it's like, look, you know what this guy's going to do. Just allow him to beat you up, but push him in a certain direction. You guys got to see that, right? A lot of young guys on the D-line had their opportunity to start. For the fact that AR just felt comfortable, could drive down each time, that was great. We went up against the number 3 offense in the country, 21 touchdowns this year. Add a few more to that. On top of the fastest scoring offense in the country, we held them to, 38 points. Florida covered, by the way, which is a W. So we'll take that. Look, I think take it on the chin, Gators. We got to take it on the chin. It is what it is. That's part of the football, right? It's not always going to be our year, but I just love college football. It's fun to be here. Let's see what's going on here. Let's see what you guys are saying in the chat here. Doesn't make a difference when 3 miscues lead to TDs for touchdown. What miscues, Mr. Wiggs? Talk to me. Love how Napier trusted Richardson tonight, letting him throw the bomb on fourth down showed that. Hope all the recruits saw that. Also, Miami sucks ass. That is true. Let's not hey, we could be Miami. Miami hasn't been in the chat, which is great. I haven't seen many Miami fans. I would expect that to happen with Tennessee here shortly. I wouldn't be surprised if they go MIA after these next few weeks. But it was funny to see how Miami, it could be worse. It could be worse. I remember early in the summer, everybody was saying we should have went and got Cristobal, but this and that. We could have lost to Eastern Middle Tennessee. And there's a long season to go, but we didn't lose to them. We lost to a good Tennessee team, in my opinion. So let me see here. You guys are upset. I get it. You guys are frustrated here. Keith says, I agree. I complained the whole first half about play calling, and I'm happier with the play calling in the second half. Napier did what he should do. He changed it up. Totally agree. I think that's what you have to understand, guys. It's small W's. I know as Florida fans, I've been a Florida fan my whole life. And I know it's what frustrates me. It's like we expect to be great, and I get that, and we expect to win, but there has to be downs. There has to be lulls to get to that point, and you have to have these losses. So we got to have an understanding of where we're at on these things, boys and girls. You know what I mean? Losses are going to happen, but let's find the W's in it. You guys are fired up in here. I love it. Let's see here. I'm fine with Billy going for it. Scary money don't make money. Wrong cue there. Here we go.
Scared money don't make money, you know?
One bad call. Yeah, better game management by Napier, and we won that game. I think there was a few misplays, a few mishaps, a few missed opportunities. Totally agree that we could have capitalized on. Glenn Seps keep saying the refs won. Look, there was a few missed calls, but you could say that for both sides. I can't really say that. Look, you guys keep saying defense. You don't discredit the offense of Tennessee. I get what you're saying here. It did look a little frustrating. I was questioning a few defensive plays. I mean, we were playing off a lot. It looked like we were uncomfortable. I felt like every time defensively, it was just like, please, I needed Tennessee to make a mistake. But let's not discredit the fact that Tennessee has a great offense either. I never felt so good to lose, but that last touchdown was so great. I felt like I won the game just by the touchdown and lost by 5. That's what I felt like. I think getting that touchdown, driving down the field, getting the onside kick, there were some small W's there that gave us an opportunity. Ted C says, guys, just think, all these guys, young guys coming up. And that's the biggest thing, right? That's the small W. Florida covered. Absolutely. Zachary McDowell. Steven, thought on Billy getting an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. I thought it was a little over Steven there. I thought it was a little overthrown there. I thought it was a bit aggressive. I love the energy. He wasn't wrong in his frustration, but to get a penalty, to get an unsportsmanlike conduct, I just felt like it was a little premature. I really do. Did it matter to me? No, I don't think that it did. It would have been third down, but I mean, they had a ball to go. So we got a few super chats in here. Let me see here. What's up, mama? Hey, Ron. Says Billy was hyped. Even I was ready to play. Billy looked good, man. Billy looked fired up, which I loved. I loved it. Blown coverage just killed us. Billy's biggest thing is not giving up the big play. And again, there's a few things that obviously Billy has to work on. Totally agree. Zach Reynolds, we had some great plays tonight. And now that's the biggest thing. It's the biggest takeaway. Look, it was an 11-point spread. I think everyone was talking about it being a blowout. It wasn't a blowout. I'm telling you, the first two plays, the fumble that we recovered and we didn't capitalize, and the first play we didn't capitalize, that's 6 points right there. That's 6 points. Just keep that in mind. And again, that's the aggressive play calling of Billy, which I'll follow. I'll believe in it forever. But Tomar Brooks is all in recruiting from previously. I think that's what people are forgetting is, again, Billy has acquired this team. And for the fact that guys are buying in and things are getting better week over week, especially of what happened last week, I love it. I'm happy with where we're at. You can roast me all that you want. You can say you're an idiot, Shelton, it sucked, and whatever. I think people have to get over this fact of like it's going to be great right away. It's not going to be. I wanted it to be. We all do. But it's not. You have to be considerate of what's happening. The Tennessees and the Kentuckys of the world have gone through this. They have been shit forever. They haven't beaten us since 2016 for a reason. They've been rebuilding. They've been building for this moment, and we haven't been. We haven't been recruiting. It's known, right? So you can't expect to be just great every year when you have somebody like a Mullen come in and just completely ransack the organization with lack of care of recruiting. That's how it goes, guys. You got to understand that stuff. So, super chat from the coach here says, I made Matta called today to blitz the wrong side, causing my son's team to lose. I made the call. I put the best player on the field to make the play. I'm okay with it. It's my call. And that's what you got to understand. I mean, sometimes you make those kind of calls. Same thing with Billy, you know. Secondary stunk. They weren't great. AR played amazing. Go Gators. Refs won, no cap. All fight tonight. Shows the relationship Napier has with the team. Agree with the refs didn't call a ton of personal fouls on Tennessee. Look, guys, I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, we lost to the refs. I don't like that stuff. I get it. But it's part of the game. I understand that too. But it's you can't look into that. I think we missed out on opportunities. The refs, that's an uncontrollable aspect of the game. To say that the refs won that game, no, Tennessee won that game. Tennessee threw the ball well. They moved the ball well. They capitalized, and they had that big fumble. I'm telling you, that fumble on AR was the game. That was a big part of the game as well, too. Poor play calling. I don't put that on AR. That's going to happen. You get tackled. You get beat up. I put it on the fact that there was a QB draw. There needs to be more patience. I don't know if that's on AR. I don't know if that's on Billy. But on the QB draws, it felt like he just didn't sell it enough. And that's just getting back to the film room and getting better at it. Look, from the fact that I watched the breakdown of last week from the Gator guy who broke down the film, I need to get his name down. It's a lot of letters. He needs to shorten it up a little bit for me. For the fact that I watched his breakdown, and then this week they adjusted according basically what he was saying is positive reinforcement on where we're headed. I mean, as a Florida fan, you should be ecstatic to see what we saw on the field. The run game wasn't where we would have liked it to be, but we know what the run team can do. Well, our concern was, hey, what can the passing do? Zipperer looked good. Now, look, I think he just needs to get the ball because the guy is an absolute tank. He's ready to run cats over. He's playing angry, which I love. Dead program, fellas. I completely disagree. I couldn't disagree more with you. And this isn't me being, again, this is not a homer suggestion. This is like that's you just being frustrated, whether you're a Gator fan or not. That's you just reaching there for Mr. AB. Yeah, Dean didn't look too great. AR looks way more comfortable. Agree, Glenn. Jonathan Myers, 2 big blown assignments by Dean, and Bernie hurt. Yeah, Bernie, weekend at Bernie's was more of like a daycare at Bernie's. Fire everyone's dead ass. That's aggressive. See money. That's aggressive. Too much space for the receivers. I agree, Zach Reynolds. That's the one thing that I was a little uncertain on. That one was a little weird to me. You can't give up 38 points. I mean, again, it's the number 1 offense or number 3 offense in the country. Those things are going to be expected. The faces on UT fans after the onside kick was priceless. I think that the last 16 years started to set in when that onside kick happened. I felt like the whole thing shifted. It's like hold on here. We've seen this before, boys. We have seen this before. And again, a missed pass to Shorter, that would have put us at the 25, and now it's a little bit more into play. It's not a Hail Mary situation. So, a lot of stuff. Do we have the worst defense in history? It's a bit aggressive, Colin. It's a bit aggressive. Billy was ready to throw hands. I loved it. What's up? Congratulations to the Tennessee win. Gavin the Gator. Totally agree. Congrats to Tennessee. Nothing but love for Tennessee and the Tennessee fans. I know we've got a few in here kind of running their mouths right now, and then we'll have some more tomorrow morning, which I expect and invite. You guys have all the right in the world to talk some smack. Future C7, feel like the offense feels like way better than after the loss at USF win. I agree, Fortune. Let me read this again. Feels like the offense feels way better after this loss than the USF win. This feels more like a win than the USF win. We're 2-2, right? So a long season to go. A lot of time left, a lot of time to get better. I'm not mad about it. Roger Smith, this is going to be a point of emphasis here. I'm sure he's going to get a lot of flack for this, is that Napier needs to learn to take the points when we have the opportunity. Needed a field goal on first and drive, and the first 2-point try made no sense. I agree. The 2 points made no sense to me at both opportunities, because even if you convert both of them, you're still down by 1. So what's the reasoning there? It didn't make any sense. Maybe he'll explain it. I don't have an answer for that one. I really don't. I can't back him on that. Him going for it, I'm going to back it. I'm going to back it. You feel like, look, I want to make a statement. It's the first drive of the game. I want to go for it. I loved it because when he went for a field goal, they missed it. So I don't hate it. It's always easier to be the armchair quarterback and look back and be like, you know what? We should have kicked the field goal there. It's very easy to do that. We convert, we score a touchdown. You're like, yo, Billy's the man. Billy's the man. He's the greatest thing since sliced bread. So those are those opportunities, and I feel like to be a great coach, you have to make those tough decisions sometimes. Kicking a field goal, he would be like, oh, it's because he played soft, he did this, he did that. There's really no winning on this situation, to be honest with you. So I can't really agree or disagree on that. Glenn says, fuck Tennessee. Kind of loopy. Says, I love to see Billy finally has some emotions. He talked about that in his press conference last week. They're like, hey, why don't you show more emotion? He's like, well, I haven't had to. So it's good to see him get fired up. We got some new subscribers and another super chat. We'll get to that in just a second here. I loved his enthusiasm as well. Let me see here. Vic Morals, defense let us down. They did. I know what you guys are talking about. They missed a few plays. I don't know if it was a play calling. There was a few times where I saw the play calling was great, and Hooker just threw a great pass, and we just kind of got beat. They were just better. You guys have to understand as Gator fans, it's not always just, hey, we suck. Sometimes it's just the other team is better. That it is what it is. You have to accept that. If you get beat, you get beat. That's just the fact, right? You can't just say, hey, we suck. Well, no, like Tennessee's a good football team, boys and girls. We don't. And look, Tomar Brooks says we don't have the depth on defense to play offense like this. Much better said. Well said. AR 2 turnovers ain't that guy. Dude ain't that guy. Mr. AB, I need to know what fan are you of, bud? Kicked extra points from B Bean. I think you could argue. I agree with that. That's the one call that I agree with. It didn't make sense to me. The 2 points didn't make much sense to me. Let me see here. We got a super chat. Glenn says Shelton, Tennessee is a bunch of B and their coach is a Teletubby. Their coach is a Teletubby. The guy's got like 9 necks. I mean, that's a fact. Let's see here. Never seen 100,000 people shit their pants when the ball got on the onside kick. That was fun. That was good to see. There. Hell of an ending. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Great ending. Great game. I mean, I think Florida fans, we gotta keep our heads held high. Hey Frank, I'm cool with you talking smack, buddy. You're on the show, man. We talked in person. Great guy. But like, let's tone it down a bit, bud. All right. Let's simmer down. I'll boot you from the chat. Like, I'm all for it. Like, you got your W, but let's not attack people. I know you're getting attacked too, but like, let's just simmer down a little bit. Like, you were on the show, you were chill. Like, don't do this in the chat. Let's be bigger than that. You're a dad. Simmer down. All right. Be the bigger person here. Fishing Football says no. Why Fishing Football? Talk to me, big dog. What are you saying no about? There's a super chat in here I'm trying to get to, boys, and I don't see it. I don't know where the super chat. Oh, there it is. The super chat came from Billy Carter. My man says, hi from Vols fan. Of that game, was it good? But the road to hell began for us in the next week. Great take, Billy. Congrats to you, man. As a Vols fan, it's gonna be a road here for the next few games for you guys. But look, enjoy the W. Carson Hope, go Vols. Congrats to you, Bubba. Raw Supreme. Not sure what you're talking about. Let's see here. Gator Nation for life. I actually ain't mad we lost. We showed a lot of promise. As usual, there's work to be done. The 2 missed unsportsmanlike calls in the first half pissed me off, though. Totally agree. Do we win if AR didn't fumble? I don't know, man. It's a lot there. It's a lot to unpack there. This is gonna be a fun season. They've been in the game late with times comes W's. Exactly. For the fact that we were there, we were fighting, we didn't give up to the end. Look, we just might go 0-8 in the SEC. I disagree. We play Vandy, so there's a W. And we play Mizzou. Mizzou's not bad though. I can't really talk smack. Look, boys, it's gonna be a long season. We got to buckle up and sit tight and relax and understand that this is kind of where we're at right now. So great game from a Florida perspective. I'm not upset. I mean, look, I have faced some heartbreak. I have faced some frustrations, and I've learned to, you got to kind of take it on the chin sometimes. And this is kind of where it comes. It pays off in the long run, ladies and gentlemen. Trust me. Everything happens for a reason. And I think if you believe in that process and understand that, look, it's not ready for us right now, and that is what it is, and we appreciate where we're at and we appreciate what we've done, then we can't be mad. We can't be mad as Florida fans. I think as a Florida fan, you got to say, hey, that was a good W there. Lizard fans mad. We're pretty good. I think we're pretty good, Sergeant Stetson Bennett. If you're really a sergeant, man, appreciate your service. Jay Money says I'm going to the Mizzou game. Tennessee won with a little more talent, and Florida won with coaching. I think coaching was great on that one. Kirby and Saban sucked year one. Everyone keeps bringing that up, and I think that's what gets overlooked. Is again, I think as Florida fans, we have to understand there's got to be a lull. I think we've been mediocre. Here's the biggest thing: we've been mediocre for so long. We haven't had a nice, healthy reset. Even with Mullen, we didn't have a healthy reset. That Trask year was not a reset. That was Mullen getting lucky with Kyle Pitts and Kyle Trask. That's what that was. That wasn't a reset of like, we're about to get shit going again. And that was, again, Kyle Trask coming in as a 3-star. And he's like, this is all I got to put on the field. And it worked out for him. And Kyle Trask ended up being better than what he anticipated. So we haven't had a reset. You know what I mean? Like, we have to understand that of Mullen didn't come in and say, hey, I'm going to fix it. He tried to come in and kind of piece together what he had and sold like, I'm the guru and these things like that. And coached himself to some healthy seasons. But there hasn't been a full reset of like, I'm going to come in, I'm going to clean slate this bad boy, and we're going to get some W's. I'm still bought in on Billy. This game made me want to buy in on Billy even more than the past 3 weeks. So that's not me, again, not being like a homer or anything like that. That's true belief of like, yo, we can get this done. I really like what I'm seeing. I appreciate it. I love the aggression. It's very easy just to punt on 4th down. You know how many times I've seen us punt on 4th down and everyone goes, why do we punt? We should have went for it. I love going for it on 4th down. Because if you as a coach and players come in like, hey, it's 4 down territory no matter what, the whole game changes for you, right? And you can be way more aggressive and make way more big plays. The biggest thing I think where we lost the ball was we didn't capitalize when we should have, 1. We didn't capitalize on the turnover, 2. We didn't capitalize on the 4th down conversions on that first play when we got it. We ended up, blowing that. And AR fumbling it. That was huge for us. Those were 2 big plays that are not a few, 2, but a few big plays that kind of cost us the W there. So again, small things, but those things when it's a close game, they add up. And that's where we're at with that. Let's see what you guys are saying. How do you feel about 4th in the East? Like, how do I feel about finishing there? I mean, look, if we're going to finish behind Georgia, Tennessee, and Kentucky, that's not an unhealthy 4th, especially with all those teams in front of us are undefeated at the moment. And they're all going to play one another. So if they all could end up with 2 or 3 losses if they just beat one another. But even still, we could finish higher because Kentucky and Tennessee play one another. So let's just say Tennessee's the team. I think Tennessee rolls Kentucky. Tennessee beats Kentucky. Georgia beats Kentucky. Kentucky's now has 2 losses. So now we're kind of fighting with Kentucky. If they own the tiebreaker, it is what it is. So look, 3rd and 4th would be a healthy finish. Really would. Let's see here. For the Vol folks in here, good win. Yeah, I think we got, look, guys, as Gator fans, we got to take the L. Take it like a man. Like, it is what it is to find the W's. I'm no apologist. 0-2 in the conference play. More talent than both opponents. We suck ass right now. Fishing football. I love this. I love this take too because I think, as if you guys are coming on here to watch, what are you expecting to get from me? Are you hoping to get me pissed off or frustrated? Do you want an optimistic viewpoint of it? I don't know, right? Because you guys are going to have your play on it. It's very easy, in my opinion. I think the easy way out is to have that pessimistic mindset of like, we suck, we have more talent, etc. But if we look, you're looking at it from a year by year in a sense of like, Florida's this great school. You keep saying more talent. From what perspective? Right? On what planet are we coming from of we have more talent? Because we've been roasting the wide receiver core the entire year. We've talked about how thin our linebackers are and how thin our cornerbacks are. Do we have more talent at their wide receiver? Sure, but Hendon Hooker looked like an absolute stud. Are we more talented at running back? Absolutely. Totally agree. But defensively, we're young, right? Now, again, Britton Cox, you guys keep saying more talented. I'm not sold on Britton Cox. I think our boy Watson looked good. McClellan, number 7, the other big boy came in, looked good. But you guys keep saying more talent. Like, we're just discrediting these SEC schools. Like, they've non-existent for the last few years. I agree, we have talent. But is it that much of a range? I don't. Where's the, give me the playbook. Look, I'm going to call Gator fans out on this. We keep saying that, but where is it? Show me that. Okay? I think 8-4. I think 8-4 would be great. I think 9-3 would be great. I'm not giving up on 9-3. I'm really not. And 8-4 would be solid too. Mullen would have quit. Totally agree, Jordan. I totally agree. A Mullen football team, it wouldn't have came down to that. I couldn't agree more. But we both know this was your Super Bowl. This was Tennessee's Super Bowl. 100%. And congrats to Tennessee for that. Saban went 6-6 his first year. 8-4 ain't a bad year one. It's not. It's not a bad year one, especially what was given to him. And look, as a Florida fan, you don't want to accept, hey, it's okay to be mediocre. I couldn't agree more. I'm not saying that. But you have to have, true expectations, true reality to the situation of what's at hand here. You can't discredit the fact that, hey, these other teams have been grinding to get to this point. The Kentuckys, the Tennessees. For the fact, here's the thing. Tennessee and Kentucky have been grinding to get to this point. This is their championship year. Okay? This is the year they're all in on. Okay? And they almost lost to a rebuilding Florida, and both teams almost lost to a rebuilding Florida. And this is their Super Bowl. Okay? How many times have we rolled Tennessee and Kentucky and Florida hasn't even been relevant? Like, just think of the big picture here of this situation. Worried about Marshall. We don't play Marshall, do we? Why do we keep returning kickoffs when we just get penalties on everyone? I don't get it, bro. Why don't we pass like that during Kentucky? That's a tough question. Mr. AB, I respect you and your channel for talking smack and eating your necessary crow when need be. Earned a subscriber, sir. Appreciate you subscribing, man. Look, I'm all about talking smack and running it, but I also know when you got to just take it on the chin and move on. I mean, like, it is what it is. There's no point of trying to defend it when it's here. So, Napier better recruit. I think that game earns a lot of hype for recruiting. I really do. I truly and honestly do. I'm a little behind on the chat, so give me a second, guys, to catch up. I'm all in on Billy and AR. Couldn't agree more. The rest of the schedule doesn't look too crazy anymore. It doesn't. It really doesn't, Sean. I think, Sean Nicholson, the rest of the schedule doesn't seem as intimidating. It really doesn't. I think that game kind of comforted me a little bit of like, look, we can get this done. We can really dial this thing in and figure out that, hey, we can be a great football team. Totally agree. Tennessee just won their national championship. I said, look, if they win this game, they need to go UCF it and put it on their wall. Let me see here. We don't suck. I've seen us when we sucked, and we legit sucked back then. Yeah, I don't believe we suck right now. Key Shot says we all punted because you couldn't stop UT. I mean, congratulations for calling out the obvious. Pimpin' Patty. I love when someone says scare money doesn't make money, then says we shouldn't kick the field goal. Look, I think we've been hitting this button all year long for a reason, man. You got to have nut sacks, baby. I loved it all year long. I loved the going for 4. Gatorfield, you guys should be happy. Great game, Tennessee. You will have a great year. I promise you that. Nick Saban went 6-6. Yep. Yeah, Shorter and Henderson looked good. I think even Trent looked good. Whittemore looked good. Zipper looked good. I love me some Zipper. I love the fact that he was running cats over today. The running back room was a little silent. I don't know if that was lack of play calling. I think that probably was part of it, but I loved it. Ventura was back. That was exciting. The blown covers is 2 TDs. That's loss. There was a lot of blown coverages that really blew that game up. We just got a new subscriber, Zach Moore. Congrats, man. Welcome to the family. Robbie says, dude, we lost because our defense couldn't stop them. Even if AR didn't fumble, then we would put their foot on and the gas and score. Look, I hear you. I kind of addressed that already. Kentucky kind of battling with Northern Illinois right now. Tell me the score, please. Let me see here. You guys are way ahead of me. Sorry, boys. Do you think they will bench Dean? I don't think we have enough depth to bench Dean. If you guys are brand new here, make sure you guys like and subscribe. Show some love here for the Gator Nation. 2-16, Frank. We are not losing to A&M. That's going to be a fun game. That's going to be a good game against A&M. We got A&M, Georgia, Mizzou. That's going to be a fun game. Florida State's going to be a fun one this year, boys. That's going to be a great one with Steve. Steve might not be able to hold his head on that one, boys. That's going to be a good one, but it's going to be in Doak, which is good. But I'm glad that he threw for 450 yards in an opposing stadium. I mean, there's W's here, boys. We got to make sure that we keep our eyes on that. 14-7 Kentucky. Okay. It is close then. And Napier we trust. I couldn't agree more. I'm bought in more than ever on Napier right now. I really am. I'm bought in on I'm bought in on it. It was a great game. I love the energy from all sides of the balls. Gervon Dexter's trash. I think there's a lot of work to do for Gervon, for Britton Cox. Those guys, they're playing from what I can see. They're playing on a lot of athletic arrogance, and that's a term that a few buddies and I we've coined up. We would do triathlons, and one of our buddies, how he would run his triathlon was through athletic arrogance, and what that means is you believe that you're going to finish the triathlon as if you could in your prime shape without training, right? Without really kind of dialed it in, that you're just going to show up and expect to perform because you've done it before, and you have that arrogance, like I am kind of the shit. And it lasts. It can get you for a little bit, but when it gets down to the wire, it starts to wear out. And our buddy who we kind of coined it off of, that's kind of what he runs his triathlons off. Like, he's done well, and he is a beast when he's dialed in. But he'll go for months of not training and sign up for a thing, and he's like, I'm fine. And he's not fine. He ends up throwing up and dying, but he gets it done, but not to the level that he expects. And I think that's where Britton Cox and Gervon Dexter are right now. They're flying off of athletic arrogance, and that's where I think that's where the coaching needs to come in. I think a lot of focus has been on the offense, and it shows. And I think that's where hopefully we can, not have to babysit and milk the AR situation as much, and we can move past that and say, look, we know what to do now. We learned from where we made our mistakes, and let's move on. It's a growing year. Brian Core says AR did a lot better. Still room for improvement. Yep, 100%. AR is a really good quarterback. Definitely looked a lot much better. There it is. I'm struggling there. Love the athletic arrogance reference. Awesome, Mr. Nobody. Glad you got it, Bubba. God mercy. Just read my comment. Play younger players in secondary. LOL. Okay. We got, Mike Litteris became a member 3 months. Hey, I just wanted to say I think you're cute. I mean, I couldn't agree more, Litteris. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, Bubba. Post a super chat, Frank, and we will re-engage. Love it, Chris Orley. Get him. Jordan says it's our depth. We'll have a full team next year. Agreed. How are you guys feeling? I mean, I already see you guys in the comments, but let's take a deep breath. Let's sit back. Let's diagnose the situation. Let's hang out for a few more minutes here, and let me hear what you guys have to say. Robbie says, what do we really think about Patrick Toney? At what point do we bring him up, or are we going to blame players all year? Look, I think the play calling was there a few times, and the players really did dismiss it from what I could see. It's hard to tell because obviously you can only see so much of the field, but I did see one where the D-line backed up, he played zone, and he just missed his coverage. He just couldn't get it done. I don't know who it was. I was trying to see who it was. I couldn't see it. Happened so fast, but I don't know. I agree though. It's a good point. When do we start blaming Pat and not the players? Yeah, great to see the balance of the best conference in the NCAA football, the SEC. Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas, all doing well. And that's fun to see. I think that's fun to see. We'll see. Mike says, I am actually relaxed. Man, in hindsight, we should have thrown more, but they were playing prevent defense last drive. What are you saying? We should have thrown more like later, but I don't know. Our defense sucks. Okay, great take. Boring Billy from G. That's big nut. That's big nutsack Billy to you. Okay. Andrew says Patrick Toney sucks. Wardad says please start Wilson over Dean. Can't play any worse. That's a good point. Go Vols from Devontae Bonds. Congrats, my bud. Mr. Wiggs, no moral victories, but these next 2 years are going to be interesting in Gainesville. They are. They're going to be fun. Look, this year, I mean, guys, like what's a win? What do you consider? Let's end the cast on this. Going into this year, what would you have considered a W? Stop with the noise. I want you to tell me what you considered a W. Make it short and sweet. Give me a record. Answer the question with a record. None of this paragraph nonsense. Give me a record of what you felt, hey, this would have been a W. I want to see that. Okay? We do need an alpha wide receiver, though. Great point, Drew Miller. Patrick needs to go to Vandy. I'm glad AR played the way that he did. I just want to reiterate that I called it in Discord that AR was going to ball out. If he continues being a beast, we will win some games. Couldn't agree more. Who should start at running back? I think it doesn't really matter. 8-4. Okay, Andrew Gator 4. Thank you for answering my question properly. 8-4, 8-4. There we go. Okay. Got a few more. A lot of 8-4s coming through. Okay. So 8-4, we would consider a W. We're on pace right now for that. 2 more losses. We could probably count Georgia as a loss. And then A&M, that's going to be a tough one. Florida State, I'm sure is going to be tough as it looks like it. And some people even say 7 wins. Kind of loopy, 10-2. That's aggressive, but I like a 10-2 record as well too. I would love a 10-2, and it's not out of the question yet. 9-3 would be a huge W. My prediction was 8-4. It's looking like 7-5. 9-3 or 8-4. So look, we're not there yet. Chris Tolley says 7-5. So I think if that was our expectations, right, as a W, to me, where were those 4 losses going to come from? That's my next question. You guys were anticipating 4 or 3 losses, maybe 5. Who did you think they were going to come from? These were the games that we anticipated on losing. Those 5 losses were going to be the Kentuckys. We're going to be the Tennessees, right? The Georgias, possibly A&M. A&M's getting railroad right now. I think A&M has an opportunity to be a W. Florida State, to me, is going to be a little more concerning because I know Florida State hasn't played anybody, but that game is just like any rivalry game. It's just who's going to be on their hot spot. But I think at that point, AR can really find himself. So, look, it's the first year of a new coach. We have to be expecting, an 8-4, 7-5, 6-6 is from account 2-4-3. I think that would be a little. That's the floor. Okay, ceiling was I think 10-2, and somewhere in between is the hot spot. I feel sorry for Lingard too. 9-3, 7-5. Injuries will start stacking. Okay, we're winning the East. We just do it with this. We're winning the East. We just do that with first year coaches. No panic. 10-2, my butt. Okay, looking like a 7-5 year. 7-8-4, 7-5, 8-4. LSU isn't ever a given. Agreed. I forgot about LSU. Good point. Good point, Brian. Good point. I think 10-2 is not out, but that should be the expectation. I don't think, kind of loopy, I have to disagree, bud. I don't think that's the expectation. It may be your want. It may be what your little heart desires, but that's not a true reality expectation. At what reason? What gives you the ability to think that, hey, that is my expectation? Outside of you just being a fan and just saying, I want that. What give me the reality of how that is a true expectation. With our defense, we can lose any game this year. I mean, we can't say this. I mean, I swear to God, 2 games ago we were saying the defense is the greatest thing since sliced bread. So we're way up and down right now, boys and girls. Way up and down. Let's get some fuel in there, boys. Hey guys, if you're brand new though, drop a like. Show some love here for the boy. I'm out here grinding at 8 o'clock at night, hanging out with you guys. So show some love, drop a like, subscribe if you're new here. We do this every game. We come here and we either cheer or we pout. What's frustrating for me is I haven't had an opportunity to throw on the astronaut suit on in a while. And that hurts. Okay? You want to talk about frustration. Okay? I haven't had to put on my piss missile suit in a minute. You want to talk about heartbreak, boys. Okay? That's heartbreak. All right? That is true devastation. I have a shirt made. Okay, I have a piss missile shirt made. I do. It's been made. It has been completed, but I'm saving it. There's no reason for me to put it out at a time like this. There's not. It's phenomenal. It's got to be one of the greatest shirts ever made in Florida football history. It's incredible. It's a cartoon of 2 of the boys right now in Florida football, encompassing the piss missile motto, but I can't show it. I need a W. I need a big W before I can share that. Jason Eddington, go Vols. Congrats, bub. Mizzou is a dark horse on the schedule for sure. That's no shoe-in. That's no shoe-in. 2-16 Tennessee fans can't talk much. They're still going to talk. They're always going to talk. Look, they have the opportunity. They let them talk. They are allowed to talk. Piss missiles, for FSU for sure. Maybe we save it. Maybe that's the game we pull it out on. I mean, it would be great if I could, roll it out sooner, but we'll see. Guys like it's free. Not sure what you're talking about, G Witty. Hydro Pump, go Gators. Yes, sir. Can we give AR his credit? I couldn't agree more. AR deserves all the credit. The guy did great. Ultra Gator, what's going on, man? I don't know who thus far has said our defense was the greatest thing ever since sliced bread. Every game our defense has given up tons of yards, especially from running quarterbacks. So we do not do a great job with containing running backs. Why we haven't put a QB spy in is beyond me. We looked good against Kentucky, and I want to say USF we were okay, but Kentucky we looked good on. I know there was a lot of praise for the defense after the Kentucky game, so there was. Maybe greatest thing since sliced bread was a little over the top, but there was a ton of praise because of how bad AR looked. They were like the defense did a great job, and they did do a great job. 515 yards for AR, and we still lose. Look, I hear you. The defense didn't do great. I hear you. He did show out tonight. Mizzou game is home. Yes, I want to say that it is. Let's look it up. Let's look at the schedule. Let's see what we've got in tune here. So we got Eastern Washington next week, then Mizzou. Both are at home, so yes. Then LSU at home. So that's going to be a good little 3-game stretch back at home. Man, we got a lot of home games. That's great. Then at Georgia, at Texas A&M, then South Carolina, very winnable. Vanderbilt, winnable, and then at Florida State. So let's say we go Eastern Washington, Mizzou. We're up 4-2. We go into LSU. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say we pull that off. 5-2. Go to Georgia. We'll take the L. 5-3. Texas A&M. I'm feeling good about it. I'm going to give it 6-3. South Carolina, 7. Vandy, 8. And then Florida State is going to be determined if we go 8 or 9. That's going to be where it breaks down. I see that you guys don't like Trey Dean. I love it. I'm happy with AR, but defense was awful. Oh, man. All right, boys and girls, thank you for stopping by today. I appreciate you hopping in here after that. I mean, it's not easy coming in here and taking it on the chin, but we need a place to vent. We need a place to be able to express our frustrations and express our feelings. And I think this is a good time and a good place. Let's have a drink for all of us here, okay? Go Gators. Honestly, it's the curse of Mick. If Mick was here, we'd be a lot better. So it's a down year. We lost Mick. It's a recovery. Lots going on here. But Sean Kelly and the boys and Billy, look, we're going to look back on this year and we're going to be appreciative. Okay? So one week at a time, one game at a time, small W's. Jordan Travis is hurt and out for season come November, hot take. Okay, we'll see. Boys and girls, thank you as always for stopping by. We appreciate it. We're going to be live tomorrow, 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Sunday morning. We're going to give you our NFL picks for the day. We are on a roll. We are positive on those picks. College football, not so much. But we'll be live tomorrow. We'll break down the game with Steve, more of a non-emotional approach to it. I know the Tennessee fans will be here. Super chat real quick before we go, though, from Dom. It says Dom is doing body rubs for stress if you're interested. That's good to know. Thank you, guys. You guys have a good night. Get some sleep, get some rest, get some water. I need some water. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. See you.
I'm a human being, cover them with tattoos so you can't see. Knew it from the start, you had problems with me and the things I could be, I just wish I had seen. I feel this pain, you already